Alrighty, we're gonna test out D gear. They're both the same combo. We're gonna try high extend plus dash. Now I would have done revolve, but the thing is that revolve is just very likely to scrape with D gear, so I thought, well, that's kind of a waste if I just do that then. So the reason why we're doing stamina for this case and not attack is because, logically speaking, the attack is gonna suck, right? Because of the dumb gimmick. So to me, it makes the most amount of sense. Test it for stamina. Because anyways, attack's probably not going to be special, and otherwise you just use S gear. So we'll see if it has anything. The most I can suspect maybe for D gear is something like, I don't know, Mobius or something maybe. Even then, I do feel like S gear could probably just get the job done. I don't know, I think maybe it can be more stable or something. There's no way Takara Tomy designed this gear and didn't try to factor in a lot of stuff into this. It's got to be useful. And I think this could probably be pretty good. We get a very hard OS in that round. So I am launching this first, so the only thing I can maybe suspect for a weakness is just maybe scraping, but you could say that like technically for most of the stuff of DB. So I think it's probably should have a little bit more stability. It's a little bit more of an outward weight distribution compared to the thing. And I'm launching this first. Now the reason why I do this first is if it's like back and forth, then okay, we'll reverse the order. But if I launch first and it's winning consistently, then to me, I don't need to do the reverse order. Alright? Because that just tells to me that it's that good. Another win. So right now, D gear is looking pretty solid. It did lose before. I do suspect if it can get destabilized, that's it. Because there's a lot of factors that always goes into this stuff, but the reason why I think it's doing so well is just that it's slightly more stable. Like extend plus dash. I can try bearing after, but bearing is like too much with factors and everything. Also, this is like a pretty common setup you could have for Dynamite F. And I did balance tune this thing. This thing is not shaky, or is not as shaky as it should be, so it should be fine. And so far, it's been excelling very well. So D gear right now is looking pretty good. I did suspect D gear will probably be used, not for attack obviously, but in this case, it's got something going for it. I still do think over is solid and amazing. I don't think D gear is gonna like, I think D gear just seems solid so far. Just that's what it looks like. Over. So you see, there are times when over can do a hard OS to the thing. We'll probably reverse the order after. This is like the first test, right? We gotta... I mean, to be honest, right? I kind of just... in hindsight, I should have started off with Giga. Because I just realized that I was supposed to go Giga then over. Because it was supposed to move up a ladder, and we basically just started at the top of the ladder, so I guess I don't need to test Giga in this case. Unless it loses a lot more, then... We're gonna do a couple more. Honestly, I'm loving it so far. No complaints? I don't even know if bearing dash would make so much sense, because the reason why I was thinking no for bearing dash is too, it's just use over, because the circular shape makes a lot of sense to be paired up with for bearing in that sense. I mean, yes, you could most certainly use it, I guess, if you want. Oh, I don't know. Because if it's at the end and it scrapes and it dies, then I don't know. I definitely do think, like, don't get me wrong, there are definitely times when this thing can lose. It just seems far more stable. But over. Circle Lad can do it. Do a couple more. Pretty sure if you just hard launch it, you should pretty much just do it. Should be able to just do it, I don't know. So I'm trying to... So it's really just because it's stabilizing at the end. Can't be because it's second low, so it wouldn't make any sense. So, okay, let's see. Let me do 2 where I launch. So if I do 2 and it's... Okay, if I do 2 and it wins, it's a different story, but we'll see. I think for bearing dash it works. It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't. I'm also doing a slight tilt on the high extend plus dash. The reason for that is if you do straight shoot, you kind of just go around and you waste too much stamina. Okay, that was like a hard OS, so... We'll see now. But I obviously, like, it is guaranteed that, the very least, that if this is against over, it could... In the case of these combinations, it's definitely leaning towards D gear. But over can still win. So what I'm noticing, it's the scraping thing, am I right? Yeah. So I gotta do a couple more then. So if it's a scraping thing, then I don't know. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna get like a really... So what I want to see now is if I just do really strong for both of them. No. I wanted to see if, I don't know, if I get a little push on it or something. So really this is just a battle of stability. Which kind of leans towards... So I'm trying to think of other cases where it could potentially work. Shouldn't be too bad for prominence. Oh, hitting the D gear, big weakness. Let's see, let's see. Or not. Wow. This is definitely closer than I anticipated. Oh, see, there was a big hit there. That was more like a start of the round thing. That could also just not be the D gear, and it could just be Dynamite F and Dynamite F. But, in terms of, like, usefulness, like, pretty useful. Like, in fairness, you don't really run S-gear on the setups that are like this, so there are probably some things that can do better than S-gear and sometimes worse. Ooh. Okay. Now, because I'm curious, I want to see what happens for bearing dash. So far, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Like, no complaints, really. So now we gotta see bearing dash. Because what I'm suspecting, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think near the end it should destabilize, unless this thing is super well damn balanced. Because in reality, the weakness should just be scraping. Yeah. So in a case like this, probably not. I'm trying to think if there's a case where maybe it could win. Maybe if Takara Tomy released something like high bearing or something, high bearing dash, maybe? I'm definitely thinking so far this might be just like a high extend plus dash thing. Not even close. Now, for sake of the thing, we'll swap the bearings, even though I don't know if that'll do anything. Let's swap the bearings just to be sure. I mean, stamina is like killer. Amazing. Just do a better launch on that one. It's probably not, which again, like I've already been saying, like is expected. Scraping at the end? Question mark? Yep. But we have to do another. These are like so, it's so close it's not even funny. It's more stable, that's my thing. Don't tell me it has potential. No. Yes or no? One more. If it loses again, we call it. Because obviously bearing will do like the shenanigans, right? But no, even then. It should still work. Gotta keep it going, I guess. It's so stable. I'm actually really surprised. God damn. Alrighty. Alright, video over. Let's try this for attack. Plus, I have to do attack, because then after the comments can't get me for saying, oh, you didn't test for attack, and maybe... I'll pretend that I didn't see that. It did you give like a nice smack, though? Okay, maybe not bad. It does kind of die, though. So maybe for attack... It's gotta get that flower proper, but... Maybe for attack it's like an early thing. No, but if you do like a good launch. Okay, I'm trying to think the gimmick might work on it. Okay. Alright. I see you. I see you. Because for a deck, don't forget that you're only allowed to have one of them, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna try some with Ultimate. So remember one thing with Ultimate, that with Ultimate, I think it does a lot better for KOing stuff than Savior. Abuser, self-KO. That was most certainly just like a free round. That's probably not going to happen a second time. I refuse to believe that was just a one-hit burst. Just like pretty much my normal Vanish build, so... So this thing, alright? We're gonna do a couple to see, because that's the build I basically use for events, right? So we see how does it respond to it. Okay, like most certainly it is the big wall hits, but if it can do it, it can do it. You know what I mean? Did lose a click. Gotta switch launchers just because. So this is like, we've now reached pinnacle level of testing right now. Okay, this is my second wind. Doing two more and then... That could have been a snipe. Left versus right. See, so it can do it. It can do it. So honestly, I think this has like as much potential as S-Gear does. Solid stamina, solid attack. I don't know if the attack is really better than S-Gear. Well, I mean, S-Gear is gonna be. I mean, S-Gear would probably have a lot more use just because. I mean, specifically for at least in the context of attack right now, because a lot more aggressive of his shape and heavier. Should be heavier. Either way, I think D-Gear is very solid, a worthy upgrade indeed. So, final thoughts, thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and yeah, a lot to edit, but thank you for watching. And check out my other testings for the parts and everything. Let me just zoom in. Alright, that'll be it for now. Bye.